doing about 10 problems, numerical problems, just like you were doing with one quiz and a homework. So it's the same workload. It just involves a video. Then I'm gonna have my upper level finance students actually have an assignment. You know, I have about 79 students in 2 sections. You know, 10 videos per week is 790, right, per chapter. I'm good, but I'm not that good. I can't look into 790 different things. But if I divide you between 29 Finance 301 students, you know, they will each get what? 10 videos, or 15 videos, I don't know. I could also use some other level stuff too. And those guys are gonna give you a rating from 1 to 5. 5 means the solution is perfect or correct. And 1 means you basically did nothing. Even if you did something, it ain't worth nothing. And based on that, you're gonna get your homework back. And it's the same. I will randomly check the veracity of some of those assignments, some of those ratings. You know, if you let your name known, these are going to be anonymous, but if you let your name known and the evaluator happens to be a friend of yours, they may give you a 5 instead of a 1. But I will randomly check some of them. Whenever I catch them, it's going to go from there to. This is actually going to be an assignment for rank. And I can't do it this semester, but starting next semester, I will also make those guys your tutors. So I'm going to be teaching 3 sections of this class. It's about 120. So each of my Finance 301 students would get 3 or 4, maybe 5 tutees. That means they can go to them to ask questions, and you can always come to me. There's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes it's a lot easier for you guys to talk to your peers than to me. I don't know why. As I said, I'm just a, grumpy little bear. You should have seen me when I first came here. I mean, I had students, I had a reputation. Students actually chose not to take my class in basic finance, because I didn't make it easy. It was the main problem. But as I grew older, and I had my own kids in school, I kind of mellowed down. This is my mellowed down. If I was teaching this class in Turkey, it would have been a different environment, because expectations from students are different. I mean, you come to class not having read the chapter, professors can kick you out. You don't belong here, because you didn't do your part. I've done my part, prepared for this lecture, but you didn't. It never happened to me, but it happened to a lot of friends of mine. And if professor gets angry, they used to throw chalk at your head. Of course, we don't have that issue anymore. I had one professor who actually threw erasers, and they weren't this soft. They were erasers used to erase chalkboards. But they must have really pissed that guy. He was, as a person, almost an angel. I mean, if you can do something that's going to make that guy throw you an eraser, I don't know what they did. So what do you guys think? Would you prefer the existing arrangement or this arrangement?
I prefer the existing.
Okay. Anyway, I'm going to post an anonymous survey, because in many cases, students, yay or nay, they don't tell their opinions. If you have an opinion and you don't say it, you don't have an opinion. Okay? Or you think your opinion is not worth having. And you are extremely wrong. Opinions always matter. And good managers always appreciate subordinates who are willing to tell them that they're wrong. good manager. Oh, you don't want to work with that manager anyway. Unfortunately, things are different in places like academia. Because in many cases, the managers tend to be people who are more bureaucrats. The people who don't want to be like that choose not to be that. Not that anybody would make me, don't get me wrong. Even if I asked for it, they would never make me the chair of the department. But if somebody by some crazy logic said, oh, he should be the chair, I would have said, no, thank you. Because I don't want to deal with people. Paraphrasing one of my favorite characters on TV, this is too old for you guys, but from Stargate SG-1, Killian O'Neill, they made him a general. Now what am I going to do? He says, now I'm going to be the man. I don't want to be the man. I spent my life sticking to the man. So what am I going to do now? Being the man is not easy. Or woman, obviously. The concept of man doesn't have a gender. It should not have a gender. All right, let's start talking about, that's not for you, that's for portfolio management class. That's pricing of a call option on a European style call option on a stock that doesn't pay any dividends. Only for that we have a formula. For the other stuff, it's numerical. But, that stuff makes you money. That's how I made. I bought those options at 188. I bought 24 of them, so I put in about $4,500. I sold them at an average of $340 in 25 days. In the meantime, stock itself appreciated only 25%. My options gained value 75%. They're inherently leveraged instruments. I bought them for long purposes, but when the stock jumped that much, a good trader always knows when to take the profits. I took the profits. I told my son, he just rented a place in Boston starting in August, but they have to pay the realtor's fee first month, last month, and security deposit. When they're renting the students, they say, you gotta get all of those in. So, okay, so I have to send them money. And Boston is not cheap. The entire house is 4-bedroom and it's $5,600. So I have to send them $1,400 each month for the next 3 months. I just called them. I said, I also made some money from some other stuff. Your 3 months are already paid. I made $4,500 just on that. I like attaching profits to uses. It makes me happy. Otherwise, money is money. Doesn't make any difference. Of course, we are not in ebb 207. Come on, man. Murphy's Law. What's the definition of Murphy's Law? Anyone? If anything can go wrong, it will go wrong. Or the euphemism is crap will happen. One of my dogs is named Murphy, after Murphy's Law, because she used to, she's now older. She's kind of, I'm around her 12 years old, but as a puppy, you never knew what was going to happen. But they're most beautiful as a puppies. We're going to talk about financial ratios in this chapter. And financial ratios, as the name suggests, are the ratios of things that involve two or more things from financial statements. Most of them are just two, price earnings ratio. You take the price per share divided by earnings per share. But certain things involve multiple things. For example, there's a ratio called cash coverage ratio. You calculate EBIT, then you add interest to it, and you divide it by interest, or times interest earned, what have you. But either way, the ratios of two things. And one or both of those things could be a combination of other things. Given the number of numbers, even in the most basic financial statements, you realize that the total number of possible financial ratios are huge. So that's your first lesson. Just because you can calculate something doesn't mean you should. Okay? The purpose behind financial ratios is to tell stories. The audience for these stories may be different. Sometimes I like telling stories to short-term creditors.